And we're live! Hey folks, Robert Lee here, executive video producer of ShaLaLaLa Productions, where we create marketing videos as well as providing live streaming service catering towards the education and the medical field, as well as, I don't know why I'm having a brain fart moment, as well as a as well as a specialty in pop culture, and I'm here with
Matt Haas. I have YouTube channels, quite a few. I'm a YouTube expert. Verbose Wednesday. I love it.
Woohoo! So, before we go right into the topic, just a couple of things. I don't know if you might have noticed a little bit of a nifty changes we have. We kind of switched sides here. And also, I'm trying a new microphone that... oh, wait a minute. And I'll get it right. Just when I get used to and I'm waving the wrong way, so it's like, whatever. So
it's always the wrong way. Whichever way you do it, it's wrong. For the first time.
I'll figure it out somehow. But yeah. So one of the things is that my brother surprised me in getting me a new microphone for doing live stream, because the one I used earlier was a Rode video mic, and I mean, it works great. The thing is, it runs a 9-volt battery, so if I'm not paying attention and the battery's dying down, sometimes I forget it's the battery that's a problem as to why I may be coming in kind of low. And so my brother picked up this, it's a toner mic.
Okay.
Got one of those special deals on Amazon there. So, and it's USB, plug right in, so I don't have to worry about the whole battery thing. And
is it front firing or is it side firing? Can you hold it up?
Sure.
Again.
So it's side?
Yeah. Do you talk into this part of it?
Yeah,
or that part of it?
It's supposed to be this part.
So is that facing you?
Top.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to
okay.
put the filter there so I don't sound like a Daffy Duck.
Hey, can we ask the audience? We have Jim Bashirs and Sammy Superstar. How is Robert's volume compared to my volume? Are they the same or are they off kilter? Please let us know what you think there.
Because the last thing that we'd want you to do is strain to hear my voice, which, I don't know, I mean, depending who you ask may not be a bad thing, but, I mean, all intent and purpose for our talk, that could be a problem, so...
and then my voice will come in like the voice of God. Oh, Sammy says it's good. Excellent.
All right, cool.
Good deal.
Yeah, which it'd be kind of a nice change of pace where Matt's louder than me. Insert your joke here.
All right.
So, all right. Well, we'll go with the word from Sammy there. And Matt's mic is louder. Ooh.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case. I can turn mine down, and then everyone can just turn their volume up. How about this? Now is my mic about the same volume as Robert's? Robert, talking to the mic, please.
Sure. So, I'm on the phone.
Sammy! We're glad you're here, Sammy.
Yeah. No, I'd say just keep it up. I mean, the last thing we want to do is people can barely hear you then if you're loud.
Okay.
So, because I'm sure I'll probably be peaking depending on how excited I get. So, but other than that, new mic, and I don't know if it was last week I was wearing my new glasses. So, all right.
Sorry,
anyway.
I'm trying to listen to the live stream while we're live, so I can compare the volume levels. It's impossible to do once the host and co-host are on the air.
No worries, it was just a vanity question. I couldn't remember if I wore the new glasses last week, so.
Oh, yeah,
so the only thing you did. Go ahead.
I think you did.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I have to get used to is I thought it had like the anti-reflective, so that you don't see what's glaring from my glasses, but I think sometimes, like, depending if I look up, you can see the lights, where I think my old glasses didn't do that, so, but because I'm kind of like...
Is that what anti-reflection does?
Yeah, I mean, so, like, whenever I do, like, videos, when I wore my old glasses, it wasn't a problem for people to see my face, just because not only
I didn't
glitter,
think that was what anti-reflect. I thought anti-reflection had something to do with the person seeing out of their glasses, not what people see when they look at glasses. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I mean, it was both. So it's supposed to do primarily like what you're describing, but also the added benefit, like anything was going here. It's so, but
Yeah.
that's all good.
I'm glad you can see.
Yeah.
Robert not being able to see versus Robert being able to see. I'd rather have you being able to see.
True, but then again, it would explain a lot of things if I'm doing a lot of this. Like, how come this is not working? I can't see that. But let's see. Oh, Sammy said. Let me see if I can. He was saying that he likes the sound of the road better. Yeah, it was a little bassy. Before going on the air, Sammy, I was on a Zoom call with John, and he was helping me making the adjustments on the audio, so I didn't sound like I was in a submarine or in a tin can. So, not to say that I would sound like Barry White, but it was just making some adjustments. But it sounds like before I go on the next week, actually, I should say as another administrative point, since next week is Thanksgiving, we're not going to be on the air next week. We'll be on in December, so. Just a heads up for all you crazy cats out there that are watching us. So yeah. So why don't we just I think that was the only other admin question other than the audio thing. So let's get into the topic, and anything else I might have forgotten, I'll just mention after the show. So let me, as they say, get the graphic up.
That was so much louder than your mic.
And we're back! No.
Oh, here we go. Love Audio Production is weighing in. Robert, your mic is slightly less loud than Matt's. That's for sure. But both sound good. All right, I'm dropping my levels since we can't fix Robert. Okay, I'm now down a little bit. So please adjust your microphones accordingly.
So yeah. So anyway, let's go right in the topic. It was one that I was excited to go into. Last week, Matt had a video talking about and his video was like 4 things recommends streamers should stop doing, and it's just more of an extension of that talk, just about talking about things that what streamers shouldn't be doing when they're streaming, for lack of the better word. So you pardon the alliteration. So, Matt.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Well, Robert and I run in a lot of groups online where people are passionate about live streaming. And Robert and I watch a lot of live streams. Mm-hmm. So this is, how to be a better live streamer, and things we don't like and things we do like. So my biggest thing has been waiting for the audience, or unnecessary delays after you start streaming. There are people that will go live and then for 16, 22, 28 seconds not do a darn thing on camera, and they're live. When you see the red live button light up on however you're live, you're going direct to Facebook, you're going through a piece of software like vMix or Ecamm, it'll tell you when you're live. And it's always a little red button that says live. When you see it, you're live. So that's one of the things that I recommend doing, is when you see the red button, you go live right away. And it's confusing because sometimes after you go live, it'll take 30 seconds for other statistics to start filling in. So whatever screen you're looking at could look dormant. Now, you'll see the red live button, but you won't get real-time stats, you won't get the health meters, you won't get the number of chatters, you won't get the number of... I mean, some of those things are delayed, but that red light goes on right away. And when that red light goes on, you are actually live. And then the experience of the end user is they tune in to watch you, and 16 seconds go by and nothing happens. You're just standing there in front of the camera, or you're looking at your screen or something like that. So that's one of my tips, is go live immediately after you see the red button, because there's no reason not to go live. People are going to watch this. They're going to watch the replay. And then what? You got 20 seconds of dead air? Oh, I'm going to watch this video. Click, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's a lot of time. Anyway, that's item number 1.
Yep. I mean, because if you look at the data or something where they say like it's like if you lose the audience attention for the first 8 minutes, you're toast. So that the fact that
8 seconds?
No, 8 minutes.
8 minutes? Whew.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, geez. I mean, that may have been the case back in the 70s, but with the attention span of today's audience, oh yeah, no, you got to hook that stuff right off the get-go. Yeah, I'd say, if you're 12 seconds maximum. I mean, ideally none. Boom, you're live. Hey everyone, I got this awesome topic to talk about, blah, 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 blah. That's better than, click, click, dead air, dead air, dead air. Yeah. Okay, that was one of my, do we want to go back and forth? You, me, you, me, you, me? How do we want to handle this, Robert?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we could certainly do it that way. Mine's a little bit more, I don't know if I would say it's more on the creative side or just etiquette. For me, it's like the first one I had was just about testing. So like, you want to be able to do that before you go on air. I mean, in this case, it just was unexpected. But ideally, like anything you're doing, either brand new, whether introducing new equipment or just a new feature on your program, you want to be able to go through like a little dry run or map it out before you go on air, so that way you kind of have an idea of what you're doing. I think it kind of alludes to another point that Matt had made, but for me, it's just more like any testing, either new graphic or anything equipment wise. Try to do it before you go on. So, so that was my first point. Go ahead,
okay,
Matt.
that's great. Yeah, Enjoy Jax just popped in the chat. She says she's been listening but couldn't comment until now. Well, we were glad to have you here, Jax, as always.
Yes, we enjoy your company.
Now with lower volume, both Robert and I are not putting out very much volume on the show because of technical reasons. But yeah, one of my points was underpreparedness. And I think you just spoke exactly to that, Robert. And full disclosure, Enjoy Jax actually came up with underpreparedness or something along those lines. I had asked the question on a Facebook group what people are annoyed at when they're watching a live stream, and that was Jax's answer. So I lifted that from you, Jax. I took what you wrote and I ran with it. Yeah. I'm a big proponent, speaking of unpreparedness, of bulleted lists. Man, I love bulleted lists. I use it all the time. It keeps you on track. It stops you from having meandering thoughts. Yeah, it's Enjoy Jax says, I have lots of annoyances. You're welcome. Excellent. Excellent. There it is.
I say nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big teleprompter person because I actually think that requires a lot more work. People think, oh, teleprompter's a shortcut. Teleprompter's an easy way to get high quality. Well, no. That requires a lot of homework, a lot of drafting, writing out what you want to say, in language as if you're speaking live instead of like reading a thesis. Yeah, no. Bullet points. Keeps you on track. It's all about being prepared. Cool. All right. Whose turn is it now? I guess we both did under preparedness.
No worries.
I can go again if you want, or you can.
Yeah, I mean, you're on a roll, so
okay.
Let's go with you, man.
Countdown timers. I love me some countdown timers, but I like it when it's a full show scheduled in advance. So it's a long format show scheduled in advance, 5 minutes or less. That's sort of my preference. What I don't like is when people have just a thought in their head they want to share, or they'll say something like, oh, hey, I just thought of this. I think it's a really good tip. I just wanted to share it with you. And it's just a short little blip. And then they'll unpromptu start a live stream, have a 2-minute countdown timer, and then after the countdown timer, they'll deliver what they want to deliver, 2 minutes worth of content. Sometimes they'll spread it out. They'll be on the air 10 minutes, but they'll really only say 2 minutes worth of stuff. That's a little harsh. Countdown timers, they're meant to get people in the show, get people chatting, let all the alerts go out, because so your show can fill up with live viewers, and 5 minutes is enough for a pre-scheduled long format show. Other than that, enough with the countdown timers. I don't know. Are you pro or anti countdown timers for short impromptu shows, Robert?
Well, for me, it's a situational thing. So if you have to, how do I put this? Let's just say, like, if Mother Nature calls and you need to throw something up there before you go on. But yeah, to your point, I mean, if it's a really short video, I mean, it just would make sense to throw up like a 10-minute timer.
I mean, you know, there's been a few times when I'm like, oh, this person's streaming, and I got the notice. I'm not doing anything right now, or I can take a break, click through. Here's a 5-minute countdown timer for an unscheduled. Just, I'm like, no. Sometimes I won't sit through it. So.
No, I hear you. I mean, it's just one of those things that I think people just have to realize, just the context of when they use it and the time frame and everything like that. I'm gonna start to sound like a football player, like, oh, it's all situational in the manner of how you go about things. Of course, I'm paraphrasing because I don't know if they would use that by verbatim. But
all right, what else you got?
No, I think it's just how do I put this? I feel like I'm stealing from Matt's cheat sheet there, but just more of the idea of just you don't want to ignore your audience, in that if they're bringing like an important question to your attention, even if it may be a point you're about to make or about later. I mean, if they're putting the thought intention to provide a question, you know, you just want to be able to let them know that you receive it, even if you're not going to be able to get to it. You know, you could just say something, okay, you know, it's something we'll address later, or if you want to like deal with them like off the air, you say, hey, you know, we didn't get to the question, but, you know, be glad to address it off the air or something like that. So I mean, it's just a matter of just being considerate to, if the people are going to spend their time to watch your program, you know, you want to be able to return in kind as best you can, whether if you can do it online, on live, or even off camera.
Dig it. I totally dig it. Yes, engage. You're live. You're meant to engage. If you're not engaging, don't be live. Do a recorded video. Faux show. All right. I got another one.
Okay.
Poor use of metadata. Your video comes along with a description on Facebook and a title and a description on YouTube. Those should describe what it is you're going to talk about when you go live. No ambiguity. Don't say, hey, here's a good idea. ... People should be able to understand what they're going to get before they jump into your video, to your live stream video. So fill those out. And some platforms, they have like a below the fold type thing where they'll just display maybe the first 2 sentences and then everything else is underneath a see more link. Well, put the important stuff up front, you know, up top. So fill it out. I mean, we're on social media platforms, and these platforms have a lot more than just a video window. They've got all this stuff around the window. Use it or lose it. So yeah, fill in the metadata.
I thought you were going to point something. I'm like, there's something up there I can't find. But I don't know if this is like a subset to the metadata point, but it was more of the idea of providing visual cues or sign. So let's say if
yeah,
you know, like let's
that's
say
a
if you,
pro tip right there.
so
That's a
let's
pro
say
tip.
exactly. So like if it's a long form video like this one, it's good to be able to break it up with visual markers as to it's almost like a visual chapter, if you will, where you could put chapters in your description as to like what topic you're covering in the video, so that way people can find it if they want to get to the point. But sometimes, like if for whatever reason, let's say you mislabel the time as to what topic A that you're going to talk about, then if you have like a visual, something visual for people to point out. So like for example, like when we started the video, I played this stinger. Oh, didn't work. At least people can see where they, if they're scrubbing the video, they can find, okay, that's where the topic of the day is. So that be an example of like a visual cue to help people find your content.
Yep. On my All Things YouTube show, I'll do the news of the week, and I'll put a green border around the screen with a little blurb at the top that says news of the week. So when you're scrubbing through the playhead on YouTube, you'll get a little thumbnail preview of where you're at in the timeline before you let go of the playhead, and that's exactly for that purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a question from Jim Bashirs. What do you use to make that intro? Says Jim Bashirs.
Which intro is
The topic of the day. The
Oh!
topic of the day intro.
So you know, you could use like editing tools, like when you go into like a Premiere Pro to create stingers and create graphics, and sometimes you can go into like a third party subscription like Envatos, where you can download templates to create the stingers, or there's another third party. I gotta make sure I pronounce it. Videos where they have a lot of the templates you can create, and you can add the information there. So there's a lot of options as to the types of, as to the templates that you can create. And for this one was from third party videos, where I'm able to create the stingers quickly. But if you're able to create a custom one using like Premiere Pro or manipulating templates, that's also another good option too. So great question, Jim.
I just said to Love Audio Production. I'm not familiar with Videos, Viddyoze, but that's a killer name. That's a cool name of a company.
Yeah. So those are and I know like Paul uses it too. So it's pretty neat to be able to find additional resources. So if you're like a one man operation creating live stream, it's always good to be able to find tools to help you create the assets you need, so that way it'll get you to be able to go on air with the tools that you need to live stream.
Very cool. Very cool.
So
Okay, I have another tip.
let's hear it.
Look at the lens of the camera. Don't look down at the screen. Don't look at yourself talking to the camera. Look up at the lens. Make eye contact with the glass on the camera. They're based in Manchester, UK, says Love Audio Production. The videos. Cool. Cool. Yeah, looking at the lens is a way to make a good connection with the person watching, or the many people watching. But yeah, that's a very important thing. Looking at the lens.
And I'll give a little behind the scene tip. So when I when I got the new microphone, because I had to kind of reorient it, so where I put the microphone, I'm a little bit more facing this way. So if I had it so that I'm on the left side and Matt's on the other side, I would look like I'm having my back to Matt, which wouldn't look good. So so a simple fix is that.
Should I turn this way, like I'm looking at you? Hi, Robert.
Nah. Hey! I mean, you could if you want, but I thought I just kind of
something.
Oh, okay. No, so I mean, so sometimes like I find it kind of funny where other streamers where they try to like make elaborate setups to try to correct that. Where oftentimes just a matter of just making a physical adjustment in the layout of your screen before you go on air, so that way you could do that. So I thought I'd share that with you. So there you go.
Okay.
And
Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Okay. After you go live, how often do you go back and watch the show that just went live? Or do you turn off the camera and then you're done with it?
Well, I mean, pretty much I watch after the show, partly because right after our program, I'll take the footage and make sure that it's if not uploaded to the respective pages like the website or making sure that the links are good to post on LinkedIn. I'll sometimes I'll if you pardon the expression Evelyn Wood it in terms of just checking the video just to see how it sounds, and a lot of times like if it's like a lengthy discussion, I'll try to see if I can find the time on the video so I can create the chapters and then put that in there. So by design, after the show when I'm uploading or making sure that's posted, it's pretty much like every episode. But whether
That's
how
cool.
much I'm able to watch it in its entirety, it varies. So yeah, that's pretty much the scoop there.
See, Love Audio Production says every time. That was his response in the chat. And I was like, that's the correct answer. I'll watch every piece of video I put out, I'll watch. Now, sometimes if it's a live stream, I won't scrub through all of it. Hey, Portal Woodworks over there on the Facebooks. Hi, David Jones. How are you? Always good to see David Jones out there.
Indeed. Thanks, Dave.
He steps away from one of his 8 bandsaws to come watch videos. I dig it.
So, would this lead into your next point?
What is my lack of improvement?
No.
Yeah, watch yourself back. What is my next point? Going
Well-
live for everything?
No, it's the idea that you know, like how like with not our show, there may be other shows where whenever they like address a comment that they do it mid thought and that they kind of forget what they do.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Finish your sentence and then engage with the comments.
I'll have to work
Unless
on
you're like
my
me, squirrel.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's considering it kind of plays to the idea of just people's attention span and stuff, so that sometimes like if it works against where you want to like respond to folks, but if you're like in mid thought, you then kind of like lose your train of thought. So, I'm guilty of it too sometimes. But the advantage of having like a 2-person show is like if we like go back and forth, sometimes I'll like remember like, oh yeah, that was the other point I had. So,
Yeah. Now, when you don't have a co-host, then it's only you. You're in the driver's seat, and there's no one else.
Right.
Hey, I just gave a good tip to one of my, someone on the All Things YouTube Facebook group. Someone I did some consulting for, Artfully Blind with Diana.
okay.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
She does a lot of live streams. The majority of her work is live streams. Now she'll do uploaded videos pretty frequently, but she does, I think, 4 times a week she's live streaming, and they go on for an hour and a half, 2 hours each. I mean,
Right.
she's a hardcore live streamer. And my suggestion was to have someone who's watching the show live be connected to her through her computer, audio only. So like Discord chat or the Facebook Messenger service where you can voice chat between each other, some sort of computer-based telephone type voice system.
Right.
And then they can read the chat room and talk to you, and you'll be able to hear them in your earbuds, but the stream won't be able to hear them.
Right.
Now, you can't talk to them directly unless you do something elaborate, but in most cases, you would if you would not speak to them. They would only speak to you, and they can say, "Oh, Love Audio Production had a question," or "Say hi to David Jones over on the Facebook." And so you can keep the host on track, and you can keep the host from missing a question. And she started doing it, and she loves it. Now, Artfully Blind with Diana, like her YouTube name suggests, is she's legally blind. She has some vision, but as far as the rating goes, she's rated as legally blind. And she has trouble reading the chat, and she'll have an iPad that she'll have to get close to her face in order to see it, I think.
Right.
Her vision, where it's clear in one spot of her vision, but, anyway, she was having some difficulty with that. Now, it wasn't real bad, but, when you're on YouTube, you want to be the best you can be because you're competing with everyone else. And, she started doing it. She's loving it. I'm like, I love giving advice that just lands for someone, I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I caught the episode earlier, and it was pretty neat that she was mentioning about like how she was like having someone in her ear to help out, and so it's pretty cool to see a plan in execution and how she's executing. So that's pretty cool to see from start to finish.
Yeah. And that's a great tip for anyone, especially any solo streamer. And I used to do that. I used to make an announcement, and I'm like, if you want to help me, here's my Discord. And then if someone says I'll help, then I will grant. There was like it wasn't just anyone can come in. I sort of had a way to clear it, and it was going good. But I phased it out because I started, like anything, you get better over time, and I started getting more into the groove, and I started to be able to deliver content and not lose the chat. I sort of boosted my skills, and I felt like I didn't need it. Now, my hope is I'll get so popular that I will one day need that service again.
Right.
And I can start asking people to help me out, or eventually get a huge empire going, and maybe I'll pay someone to do it. Maybe it'll be like a job that I can. It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah, and I think it was like, I forget which episode it was, but about the idea of having mods helping out on the chats, whether it's I forgot what it was, but you're there, but moderator is able to like share links during the live chat. You were saying?
Oh yeah. Mods on YouTube have the ability to put a URL, a web address in the chat, and have it not be censored, because that's turned off if you're not a mod.
Right. So that, which I didn't know until like, I forget what episode it was, but it was pretty funny how not only I was able to learn about it, but I was able to deputize you and John as mods on the show live. So.
I got something funny for you. I was watching this one streamer, and there was like 50, 60 people watching the show, and there were like 50 or 60 mods. What the guy would do is he would make everyone a mod that wanted to be, that asked for it. He was just indiscriminately making people mods. And he's like, I thought that's how you do it. I'm like, no, that's not how you do it.
Well, at least it worked.
Yeah, that was kind of nuts.
So what I'm trying to do, let's see if I can do this right. Oops, I don't know if, since we're going live, I don't know if like people saw the description, so I just want to be able to share the link on the chat in reference to the video that you had released. So let me just do that now.
Oh, okay.
So. So just on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, I just provided the link on the live chat as to the video that Matt had released on All Things YouTube. for the topic that we're talking about, which is, well, in his video, it was like 4 things you shouldn't do as a streamer, but we're expanding upon that. Um, so that's up there now. Sorry about that. Just the one thing I'm trying to do better. I don't know if it's really more a streamer tip, but more the idiosyncrasies that sometimes I forget to put my verbal filter on, where if I'm sorry, as I'm doing right now, where I get a little tangled up with the wires there that doesn't really need to be called attention.
Certainly having some hardware issues over there with the headphones. But,
yeah, it's my case is I'm trying to avoid clotheslining myself, but I'm getting tangled up here. So let's.
Well, just don't constrict the airway. So no.
I'm just trying to
not being able to breathe on air.
Well, that would make it a one-sided talk. So, Rob, what's going on?
That would not be fun. Not be fun. Well, I think we've kind of ran through the list that I had. I mean, we can maybe touch on a potential future topic for Verbose Wednesdays, and that is cramming too much stuff into one live stream session. You know, maybe break it up, or going too long.
Because I was thinking about whether it's the actual video itself, or even like, and I was like, actually before we went on air, I was just reading up about just some ideas or tips of how to keep the description of the YouTube video concise, or what's the best way to do so that you're not giving away what the video is about, but at the same time inform the viewers what's about. And I think it was I couldn't tell if it was more of like there's an art to it, or just more like some best practices. So
well, you could definitely put spoilers in the description, as you should. You shouldn't keep anything secret. I mean, the description and the description and the title are there to help the viewer decide if they want to watch your video.
So, I meant like when you describe the video, like as to like how much detail, like it's almost like you don't want to like throw your script there as to what the topic's about, but at the same time you want to clue it in, like what it's about.
Yeah.
So
give the gist of it.
Right. So
that's what you should do.
I know this is like a slight exaggeration of example. So let's say like if Star Wars was posting a snippet about their video, it would be say like Star Wars. Oh, you know, it's a sci-fi video. This is a clip of the Rebel Alliance duking it out with the.
That's too much. My version of that would be space wizards with laser swords. That's the shortened description of Star Wars.
So right. So to your point, yeah, it's just like how much is being too descriptive, where you're like pretty much you're like telling them what it is all about, versus something general like, oh, okay, that's what it's about. I'm gonna watch this. So
Darth Vader's looking at me funny. He doesn't like the comment that I just made. I think I'm going to be in trouble after the show goes off the air.
So if there's any force choking going on, we'll know why. But yeah, I mean, I guess it'd be like a when we go back on air, that'd be something to talk further about, whether the description length, or like you say about the length of the actual show, where. But I mean, I know like there's some that I forget which one it was, whether it's either Livestream Pros or Stream Geek, where I've seen where they go on for a couple hours, but they were really getting some engagements with the audience for us, which I can understand.
Let me kind of take a step sideways here. It's not so much the length of the show, it's impromptu live streams.
So what would be an example?
Short is good. Short is good. In even video, you know, if you're gonna post a video about a topic, and it's 12 minutes long, and it contains 4 3-minute topics, make 4 separate videos that are 3 minutes long. You know, because if if someone wants to get to the third topic, they gotta watch 6 minutes worth of stuff they don't want to get to minute 7, 8, and 9. You know, just the world is a headline-only world. They just want, just give me what I want. People don't want to buy a textbook with 12 chapters in it. They only want chapter 4. People don't want to buy an album that's side A and side B with 20 songs on it. They only want 3 songs. It's the same with anything. If you're jamming 4 topics into a video, make 4 separate videos. Then they can just choose what they want to choose, and hopefully they'll cascade from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Then you'll get 4 sessions instead of 1 session.
So this might be a little bit irregular for me to say, but I tend to like to have everything all in one place. So sometimes I don't mind the long form, so that if it's, let's say if we have like one video for 4 chapters, if it's in one video, I'm able to pick it out like within the description and click on the link. I'm like, okay, because for me, like if for like a marketer, I think the danger is that anytime you go from one video to the next, there's that possibility that you might lose the viewer's attention, where they might see off the side like a recommended video on a topic. If they click on it, as if it's all contained in one video, that you don't run the risk of the viewer to run away to like another channel or something like that. But
there's a flip side. There's a flip side to that.
Okay, let's hear it.
Would the viewer not click a 12-minute video and just ignore the whole thing altogether? And would the viewer be more likely to click a 3-minute video? Because you can see how long the video is before you click on it, and people use that as a decision maker. Sometimes I'll be scrolling through and it'll be like, how to get your first 100 subscribers on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I want to hear what this is a new channel I'm not familiar with. I'm gonna watch this, and it's 22 minutes long, and I'm like, no. I don't have 22 minutes to learn how to get my first 100 subscribers on YouTube. Like if it was 6 minutes long or 8 minutes, then maybe I would invest the time.
I don't know. For me, like, I'm almost gonna sound like an economist. Like, it just really depends, because I think sometimes it's just a matter of a situation where if it's like a brand familiarity. So let's say like Matt Haas has like a 30-minute video about why your titles are too damn long, versus Joe Blow, a 4-minute video, like, why you shouldn't have like a video so too darn long. It's almost like, well, maybe they want to prefer to stick with a 30-minute video because they know you're a known entity about the topic, than someone Joe Blow that may have like a 4-minute video about that same topic.
Well, yeah, okay. Well-known entities aside, because not everyone plays in that world. Most people are trying to get noticed, but let's do a challenge. Let's do a challenge.
Okay.
For 1 month, Robert Lee makes short videos, either live or edited, with short descriptions.
I don't know about if I'll be able to edit down a video down to like a short. The best I could do is maybe the latter, which is try to like a short description. But see, the part of it is maybe it's my idiosyncratic nature of just making sure that no information is left out. So,
well, I don't know. Well, let's, if you're not willing to change it up and try something different, then your results are always going to be the same. So, like, maybe what I'm saying could give you an uptick in engagement.
Well, I mean, the first thing I've been working on, or at least try to figure out, is the description part, which is the shorten the description. So I've been trying to work on that. In fact, before we went on air, I was like reviewing some of the descriptions in some of the earlier videos, and so I was trying to find ways to shorten it. just at least make it manageable as to like what the description's about and other things I'm talking about. So I actually like looked at some of your videos just as a benchmark to see like what some of the things I could do to try to shorten it. And I like how like I think it was the video about titles, and so I like how each little section, whether it's about your mailing list or your Patreon, how you truncate that. So like even though it's like bulleted
Yeah.
boilerplate type information, I think that's pretty cool just to how you're able to truncate that. So I'm like, okay, let me take a look at least that to figure out like of those types of information, how I can truncate that. Oh, go ahead.
There's some nuance I think we're skipping over here. When it comes to description, the physical field description, you can have a very long description accompanying your video, but the gist of your video, the thing that actually describes what's in the video, should be 2 sentences at the top, and then it can just be a mile of stuff that's just templatized. These are my social media links. This is where you can buy my merch. This is where you can subscribe on Patreon. This is, I mean, this is my Facebook group. This is my business page. Here's my email address. Here's my website. It can just go on and on and on and on forever. But the show, what's actually in the show or what's actually in the video, is 2 sentences at the very top. And it's that 2 sentences at the very top that I'm advocating should be 2 sentences. Like you shouldn't have a paragraph or multiple paragraphs of the topic of the show.
Because I was getting confused with the boilerplate, because I think earlier on when I was trying to modify it, I was getting the two confused of the boilerplate information and the description itself. So
here we go. I want some stats? I'll give you some stats. Here.
Okay.
So, my description for all things YouTube is 2,000 characters. Okay, it's is it
Which video?
lines? It's 52 lines. It's 52 lines. Now with spaces, because there's 52 lines and it's 2,000 characters, and the blurb that is actually about the video is 150 characters.
Which video?
Basically a tweet. So just to give you some frame of reference, so 52 lines of my description, only one of those lines that contains 151 characters is actually describing the video.
So okay, so I'm looking at a different video. This is the one that I just shared a link on about the 4 things streamers should stop doing immediately. Okay, so I see the description. So then, what do you classify like the chapter links?
Well,
Is
that's something else. The chapter markers are a navigation feature. It's still the sentence, the 2 sentences at the top are what I advocate for. 2 sentences to describe. If you want to put chapter markers in, that's great. And then everything else is ring the bell, Facebook group, take my course, support me on Patreon, my newsletter, affiliate links. It goes on and on. Oh my gosh.
Right. So that's why I got
my Ecamm affiliate link, my one-click subscribe to my email. No, one-click subscribe to the YouTube channel, the playlist, the business inquiries, the consulting I do, the stream beats, my physical mailbox.
Right.
Thank you statement.
So yeah, so I got a little confused that I was seeing everything all at once. So I didn't know like you were viewing the boiler template is separate from the description, because I was thinking of it as all one same thing. So
as far as YouTube's concerned, it is all one thing.
Yeah.
And as far as the interface is concerned, it is all in that one area.
Mm-hmm.
But the distinction I'm making is the The thing that describes a video should be 2 sentences.
Okay, so that's where I was missing this distinction because I was lumping it all together. So that makes a big difference in my comprehension because I'm seeing like all the elements as one thing, but you're talking about just the description itself. To be
Like
sure.
the description of this Verbose Wednesday could be Robert and Matt will talk about tips to become a better live streamer and some things that they don't like about live streaming. Period. That's it. And the rest could be your frontliner support and some of your other
Right.
your mail and your email address and your website and the Facebook page. That could go on forever. But
Right.
this is what I recommend, and this is what most people recommend. Now, again, it's the internet. You can do whatever you want on the internet. I just know people it's a snippet world out there. People don't even read articles anymore. They just read the headline of the article and they retweet it with their comments.
See again, but then I'm a bit old school. So anytime if I'm sharing an article, I'll look at not only the headline will grab, but I'll click on the link to check it out before I say okay, do I want to share it? But I think a lot of times, like to your point, some folks just like go by just the title itself before they share it. I mean, the title itself determine whether they want to share it or not. But but for me, it's like I'll go in, I'll click the link, and then I'll what I generally would do is like just try to tease it up, just to like at least like almost like give like a value proposition as to why they should click and watch or read the article. So, but yeah, I mean, to your point, it's just a matter of just the what the situation is.
I challenge you to make shorter content, and I think you would get an uptick in engagement if you did.
Well,
try it. What's it hurt? What's it gonna hurt?
Well, no, I meant like in terms of the description, yeah. I mean, trying to work on
and the video. Don't.
Well, see,
yeah.
So the video,
if you're making video, and you have 4 topics, make 4 separate videos.
But I mean, like for me, like I don't know if it's just me, just my natural inclination of avoid any misinterpretation of the point is that generally I like to keep the information
gotta risk it
intact, so that way people don't misconstrue. Just because like it's my like anti-flame response, so that people don't take the content out of context. Where if they see it in its context, that they'll be able to view it. So that has been my general inclination. But go ahead.
You see what you said there? What you said there? This is the way Robert likes it. Robert prefers it this way. Think of the general public. Does the general public think that way?
About the short content versus long content?
Yeah. I think a lot of the people out there who aren't Robert Lee like short form content, and to give it a try.
But I think it's more the audience, like with marketers. I mean, they like to consume long form content. So
everyone likes to consume long form content, but why not mix it up? Mix it up and try it. I bet you get an uptick in engagement.
But
I bet.
So are you saying like are you saying like short form to like the market, the piece itself, or are you saying like take this actual let's look for example, we'll use this program as an example. So you're saying that you'd have like one form, which is the entire show itself.
This isn't dealing with a show. Our hour-long show is our hour-long show.
Right.
That's not to be messed with. I'm talking about when you want to share something in video.
Oh, okay. All right.
Make shorter videos.
See, I'm thinking about like I was thinking you were saying like the show itself. So that's why like
not the show itself. No.
All right. Well, that's different.
It is different. It is different.
Yeah. Well, I know like I did one a while back of when we had a guest with Chris, and when I was trying to figure out like what would make sense to be able to share, And as I was reviewing the video, a lot of it is intertwined with the comments that we made. So that the only thing that made sense was like the wrap up to be able to share as like a summary. So, so that was, you look at me kind
Well,
of
now we're
funny.
getting into another topic of
Yeah.
should hosts interacting with comments on a live stream be used as standalone videos elsewhere, and that's a whole other topic.
Right. So it was a matter that because a lot of it was intertwined with the audience members, and so that the only time I think it made sense was like at the end where the summary, and we were making a different point that and that was able something to work out with, but yeah, I mean to your point, yeah, it's I think then the challenge is just a matter of making sure that when you take a portion to share, it's one that but it's a clean piece. And I know like we talked about earlier about like what made sense as to like what content you could use to either repurpose to be able to share. And I think it's a different point where it's talking about like if it's something that's polished.
Let's not get into that topic. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. See, so I mean, a lot of it, I think, to your point, in terms of like finding ways to be able to offer content to share, it's a matter of just trying to figure out like what makes sense so that when you take it out, it doesn't hinge on what was a point made earlier or something that was intertwined. So, so to your point, yeah, I've been trying to figure out ways to be able to shorten it, but I think how the program has presented, it's a matter of just trying to make sure it's one where it when taken out of out of a program that it doesn't lose its meaning or value or what have you.
Got it.
Or in other words, I'm working on it.
I'm working on it over here.
So, but
all right. Well, we've been going for a long time. You want to wrap it up?
yeah, I was just gonna say like if there were any final thoughts that you want to make before we wrap up.
I think we're good. I mean, when you're live streaming, be prepared. That's the long and short of it is be prepared.
Yep. And on that note, just a couple of admin stuff. Just a reminder of for those looking for information regarding Black Lives Matter, is blacklivesmatter.com and NAACP.org. And then again if you're just looking ways to help out the hospital's frontliner, and you feel that you're in need of a live stream video, kind of like what we're doing right now, links in the description, or to be able to reach out to me, be glad to help. Oops. And then I think I accidentally hit the wrong link, but in the description again, if for those interested in joining on the mail list, and be glad to provide a Verbose shout out. Just to be sure to click on the link and again be able to glad to help out there. So that was it. And again, we'll go back on air on November 2nd. It's oops. All right, begin. All right, there we go. So our next episode will be on November 2nd. Sorry, December 2nd, 2020, as next week is the holidays, and so just a matter for us to be able to spend time with our family and everyone else. So now we're all set.
Awesome. We're all set.
So Matt,
thank you, Robert. This was a lively conversation. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and again, Matt, if we don't speak before then, you and your family have a happy Thanksgiving. And
happy Thanksgiving to you too. Eat lots of turkey.
Yeah, I'll try not to look like a stuffed turkey when we come back. And for everyone watching, thanks for tuning in. Or is it tuning in or log clicking on?
Tuning in.
Okay. And again, you know where to find us if folks have questions. On that note, thanks for watching, and
that's where to find me.
Almost forgot. Did I get it right?
Oh yeah. Where are mine? Here's one of them. Here's my other one. I lost it.
Well, I'll leave it up here.
I got it. Here it is.
All right, there you go. And on that note, Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Very good. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Watch this back and